marijuana is legal, does that complicate?
It does not, no. So what he asked was, now that marijuana has been, and just a quick caveat with that, it has been decriminalized. On a federal level, marijuana is still illegal. It has been decriminalized in the state of New Jersey, and we compromise our canine unit. So we have one dog, our oldest canine currently, Canine May, with Officer Amato. She is trained to detect marijuana odor. So unfortunately, Canine May cannot be used in any sort of narcotic investigation. Because marijuana has been decriminalized, it would compromise the investigation. So she can still do patrol functions, she can still track, she can do article searches, things of that nature. She just can't do any narcotics work. We kind of saw the writing on the wall a few years ago that this was going to happen, and as a result, moving forward, we do not train. So Ringo is not trained to detect marijuana odor. He's trained to detect heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine, and methamphetamine and all of its derivatives. So there's no, for that reason, Ringo can sniff all the cars he wants. We could do search warrants on houses and all that stuff, and we don't have to worry about it because he is not trained. You could put marijuana down right here and Ringo wouldn't give it a second thought. So we'll just go right, yeah, go ahead, sir.
How much did Ringo cost 2 years ago?
Ringo cost approximately, just to buy Ringo, just Ringo, not all the equipment, not the patrol car that goes with it. Ringo alone cost $9,800 approximately. But that was because he's not a green dog. He was trained from 6 months until I got him at 2 years. He was trained in that French ring discipline. So that kind of ups his value significantly. And like I said, it cut down drastically on the learning curve for he and I when we were in the Canine Academy. Sir?
Ringo was trained in Holland the first 2 years. Was there a language problem between the two?
So it's funny, I actually forgot to mention that. Ringo speaks French. Yep. So I do not speak French. I had to learn several commands in French. Everything that he already knew how to do, it was very easy to just learn, for me to learn the few words that I needed to learn and keep him, keep his commands French. Anything new that I taught him, I had the luxury of teaching him in English because he's a dog. He doesn't know that French is French and English is English. So everything that I worked on with Ringo is in English, thank goodness, because it was tricky at first. I was telling him to do one thing and I'm saying it in French and he's like, that's not what that means. So I'm going to do what you're telling me to do, and I'm like, why is he doing it? So yeah, it was a bit of a learning curve, but it wasn't too bad. We negotiated that pretty quickly. Go ahead, sir. I do. Yeah, I have my e-collars right here. I am, again, very fortunate. Ringo is highly intelligent. Not to say that all police canines aren't, but Ringo is very intelligent. We have a very strong bond. I have no doubt in my mind that Ringo would listen to me without the electronics, and I've seen him do it. He's demonstrated, as a matter of fact, he has to demonstrate proficiency in that or he can't be recertified. However, I am responsible and liable criminally and civilly for everything that Ringo does. So just as an added precaution, again, not that it's necessary, I do keep an e-collar on him, and I have the remote right here, just in a worst case scenario. Sir?
Yeah, it's just green dogs get distracted as easily as some others. Are there cause distraction?
Well, yes and no. I guess it depends on the dog. If Ringo sees a squirrel go running by, of course he's going to pay attention to it. But the way that we train with distractions. So if we're on a track, we will have someone stand with a full bite suit on, a big marshmallow man looking guy. And Ringo loves the marshmallow suit. He loves to bite the suit. It's fun for him. When we're on a track and he's in that mindset, Ringo will walk right past the decoy in the bite suit and continue on to try and accomplish the goal of the mission. So yes, they get distracted, but when he's working and he's in that mindset and he's turned on, his focus is solely on the mission, what we're doing currently. Yeah, we train for that specifically. Sir?
How many years of service are you able to get from a dog that comes with good health and
is very reputable, and the dogs are very healthy. Our last dog that retired, Canine Micah, was my lieutenant's dog. Micah worked on the street for 10 years and probably could have did 11 years, and Micah actually just passed away. He was about to turn 15. That's maybe a little bit above average, but that's kind of what we're hoping for in the working life of the dog. So Ringo is 4 years old. I haven't noticed him slowing down or missing a step. If anything, he has more energy than ever. So I'm hoping to get, another 6-7 years out of Ringo, God willing. So, sir.
Do you have specialized veterinarian services?
We do. Our vet is actually down in Swedesboro. It's St. Francis Animal Hospital, and the vets there and the technicians are specially trained to deal with police canines. And I believe Mount Laurel Animal Hospital also has specially trained vets and vet techs, so that if, God forbid, there was an emergency right now, I don't have to rush all the way down to Swedesboro. I can get to Mount Laurel a lot faster. So we do have specific vets and hospitals that we use for the dogs. Sir?
In all the contraband and drug surgeries that you've been at with this dog, how much fentanyl are you getting into our community?
I would say, and this is my personal opinion, which doesn't really count for much, I would say that about 90% of the supposed heroin that we come across is actually, if it's not completely fentanyl, it's probably 50-50 or more.
Actually, the dog tell the difference between Chinese source fentanyl?
Oh, no, he just detects the odor. Yeah, that would be, I'm sure if we trained him, he probably could, but that would be incredible, yeah. So interesting, Ringo is actually not trained to detect fentanyl. And he's also, the other drug narcotic that we're running into that's going to be, I think, just as bad, we're already seeing it. It's called xylazine. It's a horse tranquilizer. Excuse my pronunciation there. He's not trained to detect that either. I don't have a say in this. I would like it if he was. We could train safely. We could imprint him on fentanyl and xylazine, and it wouldn't compromise his ability in narcotics investigations, because I don't think that fentanyl is ever going to become decriminalized, and neither is xylazine, because of the problems that we're seeing. So we're looking at that. We're thinking about training the dogs, and as long as it can be shown to our administration that we could safely and effectively imprint them on those odors, I think we might moving forward, but that's well above my pay grade. Yes, sir.
I want to thank you for coming.
Oh, I can answer a few more questions. I saw a few more hands. I don't want to leave without, Go ahead, sir.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
I like him, yeah. The dog's great.
Perhaps this is out of your experience, but what role did dogs play last week in Chester County, Pennsylvania, capturing that escaped convict?
I have the utmost respect for that dog, Canine Yoda, and I have the utmost respect for the handler. I don't know the handler's name. I have yet to be in a situation that was that dangerous. I've been in some hairy situations so far as a canine handler, but just the incredible bravery that the dog and the handler showed going after a convicted murderer, that was exceptional, and the dog did an exceptional job. And thank God, the outcome was perfect. The bad guy was caught. None of the good guys were injured, including the dog. And I feel that, to answer your question, the dog played a huge role in locating Mr. Cavalcante. Huge role, sir.
What do you feed the dog?
So he is on a specific type of food. It comes from our vet. It's called Purina Pro Plan Sport, and it's specially formulated for sport and working dogs.
Okay, so it's not available in a store?
I think you can buy it. We get it directly from our vet. That's what they want us to feed the dogs for health reasons, so on and so forth. Yes, sir. Sir.
It looks like you're fully dressed for us this morning.
I am.
Can you just go over what you're wearing on your vest?
Yeah, sure. So it's a Kevlar vest. Obviously, it's meant to. Hopefully, it stops bullets. Over here, going left to right, I have my handcuff pouch. I have a cat tourniquet, OC spray, oleoresin capsicum, so pepper spray, 2 magazines for my handgun and my radio. Over here I have my taser and Ringo's e-collar remote, and obviously over here is my firearm.
You carry cameras?
Yes, this is my camera right here. Yep. That's not on right now, but yeah, I carry a camera. Yep. Should I turn it on? I'll turn it on now. No. I had it buffering, so it might have captured. Just kidding. And then the other thing that all canine handlers carry, I wear around my waist, is a leash. We call it a lead. I have it just in case I need to bail out of my car quickly, get a leash on him, and go to work. And I also carry a substantial amount of gear in my car for Ringo. I have a lot of different leads. They're all varying lengths. I have a bulletproof vest for him. If we're going on a track for an armed subject, I put his vest on and then deploy him on a track. If we're looking for, just a missing person, I have a regular vest that he wears that's not bulletproof, that's a little bit more comfortable for him. I have all sorts of toys and rewards for him. He has his reward right here. This is his favorite thing in the whole world. You can see, obviously, he loves it. It's his tug. That's another interesting point. Everything he does is his reward is toy-based. So in addition to when he does something right, when he finds somebody or he finds narcotics, in addition to me talking like Mickey Mouse and telling him he's a good boy and he did a great job, I give him his tug and I play with him for a few minutes, and that's his reward. Some canines are food-based, but it's a little hard because then you'd have to carry around treats or kibble in your pocket, and that can get messy. So we train our dogs. Their reward is play and toys. And again, I'm very fortunate Ringo took to it very quickly. Once I start talking to him like Mickey Mouse and I give him his toy, he'll eat out of my hand, literally. So yeah, it's our rundown on our equipment.
How much does it weigh?
All told, the belt, handgun, taser, the vest, everything's probably about like 30, 40 pounds, depending. Yeah. Sir? We do. We have Narcan in the car. So I have Narcan for us, as well as people that we come into contact with that need it. And then I have Narcan set aside for him specifically, just, in case he sniffs a car and he begins to overdose, which dogs can do. I can give Narcan and it'll reverse the effects of the opiate the same way that it would for us. Thank goodness. Sir?
You mentioned that some dogs come to you trained, some
Yes.
dogs come to you green.
Yes.
If you get a green dog who demonstrates promise, how long does it take for you, how many hours, weeks, months, does it take for you to get to a point where you believe in the dog and you will put them out to do their duties?
So that's a good question, and it's tough because we can go down to the place we go in North Carolina that we're actually starting to move towards, because it is very complicated to get the dogs over here from Holland. It's called Tar Heel Canine, and we go down there, and the gentleman that runs it will run out all of his best dogs, or what he thinks his best dogs are. We'll tell them, look, we're looking for a patrol dog and a narcotics detection, and we'll say, okay, I think these 8 dogs would be a good fit. We'll work out all the dogs. We'll have them do some very, very basic command, stuff like that. And then it comes down to experience. So we have a captain that just retired. He was a canine handler for 17 years. My current lieutenant in charge of our unit, he was a canine handler for 10 years. So based on their experience, they could say, okay, we think that this dog's going to be the best fit, and we'll try the dog out. We take them, as soon as we get the dogs, we take them right to the vet. We get them full clean bill of health, and then we start to integrate the training. And if at any point it's determined that the dog's not going to be a good fit, then we get a guarantee from the breeder, whether it's in Holland or North Carolina or wherever, that we can bring the dog back and try out another dog. Now, the further you get in the Canine Academy, it gets complicated because you just put in 2 months, and now all of a sudden the dog's not working out. But hopefully you can kind of read the writing on the wall and pick up on that quickly before you get too invested in a particular dog. So it could be tricky.
So how long does it normally take to take a green dog to a point where you trust them to take them out on the street and do their job?
So our police academy is 4 months, and that's the window. If they can make it in 4 months, like Ringo and I did, then they'll hit the street with their handler. But if at any point during those 4 months something seems like it's not going to work out, immediately we'll take the dog back and we'll try another one, and start over with the academy, all the training. Sir?
So after the dog is gone through its useful life, it's time to retire, what happens to the dog?
I get to take Ringo home. I get to take Ringo home, and he lives with me, which is great. Is that everybody? All right, very good. Thank you very much for having us. I really appreciate it, gentlemen. There you go. Here's that bus. Thank you very much.
Year's membership in the men's club.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And the dog.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it. It's very nice talking to all of you. Thank you very much for having us. Yes, I got my Mickey Mouse voice. Oh, thank you.
Okay, just some, a little messages first. Ron?
Okay, so I have name badges for recent new members, so why don't you come on up and you receive your badge. Charles Fleischman. Joel Pechon. Is that right?
No, it's misspelled, there's no C.
Oh, you had one already. You have two now.
Yeah, I just took it off.
Okay. Ezra Melman. And he's not here.
No, Ezra.
What's that? Yeah, okay. Jeff Edelman, not here. Bob Malkin. Alan Turoff.
Alan, he's right there. Alan, go get it.
And I have one here. Let me see if I get this spelled right. Furtus? A new president's badge.
Thank you.
Are you going to get a badge for the dog? And then are you going to pin it on the dog?
Well, he's a member now. We have a dog member.
We have to list them next year.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Don't blink. Now, if you have any questions, the board member at each table, when we're finished, we're going to take about 5 minutes, and that's it, to answer any questions you have individually at your table. It's in 5 different sections. We have the monthly meeting ones, monthly meetings. You think all this magically appears? Tremendous number of people helped to prepare this. The second section, there's miscellaneous ongoing things that we do all year. Then we have things that are basically once a year. Then we have things that we need looked into, some research that you can do at home. And lastly is all the organizations that we help. Okay, let's start. You have the 2 papers, the first one, which is the opportunities for volunteering. That one you're going to hand in at the end of this program. Now, as I said, I'm going to rip through this quickly. Make a note or something. Now check off if you're going to ask questions of the person, the board member at your table. Okay. Now, the reason we need some help with some of these things, we got snowbirds doing things, right? Sometimes people have other obligations, all right? I'm going to go very, very quickly. Remember, if you want detailed answers, ask the board member at the end. Okay, here we go. Helping the videographer. Eli back there, he's actually the backup for Dave Nydorf. Helping with the projector. Okay, again, none of these things need an advanced degree. Helping with the Zoom. We have 3 people on Zoom. Folks, the 3 of you or 4 of you that are on Zoom, if you have questions, at the bottom of the screen is a chat thing. Click on that and type in your question, and Marty will forward it to someone else to answer. Next is, we have speakers all the time, but we can't just magically get them ourselves. If you want to be on a committee to help with finding speakers or can be a speaker yourself, you have the name of who to help, who to ask. We need help in the kitchen. We have a tremendous number of people here that do a lot of the work before you even, some of you get out of bed in the morning for these breakfasts. The table captains. The table captain is the person, you see the speed I'm going to do? The table captain is the person who takes care of the envelope for paying or making donations. Then we have the food and toiletries. The next 3, 7, 8, and 9, food and toiletries, books, eyeglasses. If you'll take a look where I'm pointing, watch. We have these up here, and people bring in food for the pantry. They bring in the books. We have like a book club type of thing. You just exchange the books. And eyeglasses. One of our members has eyeglasses for an organization that gives them to people in need. Then we have the next thing, which is number 10, which is the carpool for members needing ride to activities. Again, if you think you can do that, you've got the name of who to contact, and help with the 50-50. Right now, we have 2 or 3 guys that do that, and if you can think of an easier way or a more efficient way, let the person know in charge. Now, I just covered the first 11 things in this first part. If you have ever done any of these things, please raise your hand. Whoa. Okay? I guess we're not just a breakfast club, are we? All right, let's go to section B, which is miscellaneous ongoing items. And they can all be done from home. And System Membership Director, Ron, over here. And the mitzvah cards. Who does not know what a mitzvah card is? Please raise your hand. Oh, only a few, good. And the mitzvah card program is something that it's very easy. You can do it by a phone call, you can do it by an email, and the name of the person on there is evident. And Ed has some mitzvah cards.
We're going to have them next meeting. We're going to sell them in packs of 4. They're going to be on sale, so when you come for the next meeting, they'll all be have a stamp with them, so forth. You can send them out yourselves when you need it.
Indeed, and it makes it very easy. If there's a good thing, a bad thing, you want to send a card, it really works and it's convenient. The next item. Okay. Maybe not in this room, but you and I know that we have some of our members who have difficulty distinguishing between a computer and a toaster, right? So you don't have to be a genius and know how to do programming to help this person. So we need some volunteers. Now make a difference. Now's the time. If you have any questions, we'll take 2 or 3 minutes. Ask the person at your table. There's pens on every table. Hopefully you fill out the form. And at the end of the meeting, we'll put them on. When you're done, give them to the board person at your table. Thank you. We're going to give us about 2 or 3 minutes to fill this out if you haven't done so already. And then we're going to go on to our speaker.
Thank you.
I guess I could. Get something like that.
Ed was willing to do it.
People recognize that.
Oh,
Very well known. Never follow. Try to never follow.
Gentlemen, as you're completing your forms, I'd like to point something out. As the chairman of our philanthropic committee, I'd like you to understand that as far as the food pantry goes, South Jersey Men's Club will continue to support by making donations. We're going to be doing a matching donation up to $200 a month. If you would make your donations to Stan, he'll track them and we'll match them because we find that the food pantry is in dire need of support. If you work over there, you know that. If you don't work over there, understand that half the shelves are empty right now. And they're literally waiting for food from the High Holiday Food Drive. Thank you.
We ready?
Okay. Now we have our guest speaker.
Let me introduce.
And Ed Stein is going to introduce him.
I just want to take a minute. You know, Dave Schwartz handled this position for years, and I keep saying that. And he did a tremendous job. I hope I can do half the job that he did, but I'm getting a lot of help from people out here. I got a lot of help today from Bernie Schuster. I wondered how it would work out bringing the policeman in with the dog. It was wonderful. I think everybody enjoyed it. I never heard the crowd so quiet. So maybe they were afraid that the dog was going to get them, but whatever. It worked out really great. Thank you, Bernie. As I said, you have my email address. It's on the club web. Send me a note if you have an idea for a speaker. Somebody stopped me this morning and said, hey, I know a guy who flies drones and he's a videographer and he could speak. Give me your ideas. We need them. I want to introduce this morning Oded Kraus, the Executive Director here at the JCC. He's going to tell us all about himself and his activities here at the JCC. Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear me without the microphone? Yes, all the way in the back? The accent and the microphone is not a good combination. You know, it's going to make it even more complicated than listen to me over the microphone. Some dear friend mentioned this morning a comedian by the name of J.C. Fields. W.C. Fields. Now you know who mentioned that. W.C. Fields that said that never follow an act of a child or a dog. Thanks, Mike. So first he gave me the wrong date. Now he made me follow by a dog. For 2.5 years he said he's going to get me a South Jersey Men's Club shirt. He didn't, so I had to match the colors with a Katz JCC shirt, but you're welcome. That's okay. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Oded Kraus. I'm originally from Israel. I joined JCC 2.5 years ago after a career in a very short career in North Carolina. For 12 years, I worked at Endicott College, which is right outside of Boston. I was the director of international admissions over there. I traveled the world and create strategic partnerships. That's really what I did. Those strategic partnerships helped the school in creating an international community within Endicott, but also help us tremendously in the whole area of fundraising and really expanding outside of the typical traditional fundraising pond. And that's something that I would like for us to do here within the Southern New Jersey community. Prior to that, I served in the Israeli army for 5 years. I was a company commander in the military police, served in a prison that is very similar to Guantanamo Bay. But been here at the JCC for the past 2.5 years. I live in Voorhees with my wife and my 2 kids, Sarah and Sammy. Sarah just left the JCC. She's in kindergarten right now, but Sam is still here at early childhood. I miss her. She's my sidekick, you know. So now I only have 1 kid here at the early childhood, but I guess that's the nature of the beast. So I'm gonna share a brief presentation with you, one that, as you can tell by the title I shared with my staff last week during an all-staff meeting. But the information is very, very relevant and very, very accurate to the state of the JCC right now. I'll try to go through this presentation really, really quick. There's almost 40 pages over here. I promise I'm not going to do them all. I will go through the presentation really, really quick. We're going to have a discussion about the future. There's really a lot of very, very exciting things happening here at the JCC. And then if you can keep all of your questions till the end, I'm sure that I'm going to answer each and one of them. Yes?
Oded, the presentation tool
should be working? Let's give it a shot. There we go. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So over the past 12 months, we had a significant increase. As you can see over here, we started July last year to July over here. We increased our membership by anywhere from 2,900 units to close to 39. So we experienced 1,000 units growth in the membership of the JCC. Wow. All right? What? The unit is a person? Unit is not necessarily a person. Thank you. That's a very good question. And unit can be an individual, it can be a couple, sometimes it can be 6 people, right? So if it's a family with multiple kids, but a unit is the most accurate way for us to measure because we don't know what a unit will hold, okay? So many of you know that the virtual gym closed, and that definitely helped with the 1,000 new units that we have here at the JCC. However, the amount of new families with kids that have joined the JCC during that time period is enormous, and that's really, really important. That's the category that we're after. because that's the future of the JCC. We need those young families, we need those young kids over here. So we're very, very excited with the growth. We're probably going to surpass the 4,000 membership mark in the next fiscal year, which that's something that will be significantly higher than where we were before the pandemic. And we probably will reach the highest number of membership at the JCC ever since we moved into this building. So the membership portion of the operation is doing really, really well. JCC Camps at Medford concluded the best summer season that we have since 2008. We had a total campers of 1,593, which represents 73 campers more than 2022, which was another phenomenal year, and 260 campers from 2021. Camper weeks is something that we count, all right, and the average camper week is like around 6.2 weeks per camper, which means that out of those 1,593, the vast majority of the campers are there at camp for at least 6 weeks. When we're looking on where the campers are, Camp Hilton, this is our youngest population with 412 campers, representing 24 more campers from 2022 and 56. This is the next group up, and these are the older kids, okay? This is the most challenging one to recruit, and those are the leadership and training, and those two here are traveling camps. So for 2024, we surpassed the 1,300 campers that already registered. So within 2 weeks of opening the registration for camp, the camp was sold out, all right, within probably the vast majority of the categories. And we have very, very limited spots in very, very different categories. So we have capacity at camp, all right, with the location of the camp being at Medford. While we do have 100 and something acres there, I don't know if any of you live in that neck of the woods, working with the Pinelands is close to impossible. All right, so even if we had any plans or anything of that nature to do some sort of an extension there, it's proved to be very, very difficult. So now we're going to try to identify ways of how can we maintain that number of campers and maybe see if we can utilize the campsite over the winter to generate some additional revenue. One of the most exciting things that happened at camp is right over here. This is Takarton, or Tzavi in Hebrew, which is a tzav, which means a turtle, and we'll introduce a new mascot to the camp. That's something that we never had in quite some time, and that's what the kids are actually fishing for in the pond when they go fishing. So as we are right now, this 49 number is probably close to 150. Okay, so we have 150 campers on the waiting list. We actually had a significant increase in the prices of camp, and that really did not deter families from registering. And I would like to thank the Saltzman Foundation, who actually promised us that before we're going to increase prices, that there will be specific and dedicated funds, scholarships, that will go towards the Jewish kids, that no Jewish families will not have the opportunity to attend camps at Medford. So we got that commitment before we raised the prices. Just so you understand, our catchment area for the JCC camps at Medford, including 5 buses who are coming from Philadelphia every single morning, and a bus that is coming from Margate. All right, so the catchment area of our camp is so large right now that we have 45 buses coming, from Haddon Township, Haddon Field, Mount Laurel, Marlton, and all of those places. So it expands significantly beyond of just the Katz JCC. And we're making an impact, a Jewish impact on all of those families. You can see the growth right over here. This year we made a very important decision to separate our inclusion from the adult department. So each one of those departments will get the attention that they so much deserve. So in the area of inclusion, we're looking to bring more inclusion programs into our JCC. What does it mean? We would like to be able to offer an inclusion program during the Junior Maccabi basketball, that there will be an inclusion team. We would like to incorporate those kids into the swimming program. We just launched a Special Olympic golf team, and 3 of those golfers for the first time qualified for nationals. So we're really looking on how can we bring those programs and allow those families who struggle during the day-to-day operation to have some meaningful experiences here at the JCC, and that will allow them to take a break and making sure that their kids are having some sort of a meaningful experience. Right over here, I don't know if you can see, October 19, we're going to have a Disability and Inclusion Resource Fair. If you're interested in learning more about it or to come and lend a hand during that day, I think it's a very, very noble kind of cause to come and attend. In the terms of lifelong learning, I know that many of you are participating in some of those programs. We visited Broadway for Funny Girl. We went to Philadelphia for the Lion King. We had a very meaningful visit to the Jewish community environment and the museums that they have over there. So those activities are available. And as you can see, we're offering a significant amount of opportunities. If you don't receive the brochure, if you don't receive the catalog, make sure that someone here relay that information for me. There are a lot of tremendous opportunities. And when I go towards the end of the presentation, we're going to increase those possibilities above the traditional morning classes. We're actually going to introduce night classes as well. In terms of fitness and wellness, just take a look at the numbers. If you're taking a look, the numbers for 2022 are on top. For 2023 are in the bottom. So just in case of group wellness, 16,000 2022, 36,000 2023, and the year is not over yet. Same with personal training, double. On the grand total you can see, and the year is not over. Same as it goes to the basketball leagues. As you may recall, in November, just before Thanksgiving, we had a devastating flood in our gymnasium. And the main reason that the flood was so devastating, it was not the flood. The flood is always a pain. But it was the largest, excuse me, it was the largest Junior Maccabi program that we had since the inception of the program. So we will still be able to pivot. This program coming in this year, it's going to be the largest program that we ever had, and we're very, very excited about that. And then you can see about specialty classes, everything continue to grow. The swim team is the largest swim team that we had since the opening of the building. They continue to win championship left and right. If you come here during the morning and you see the aquatics, it's very, very difficult to find a space for a swim in the pool. I'm going to touch upon that in a moment. The library is back and open, so there are opportunities to come and visit the library. As well as some book club and reading club. So by all means, please free to join. This is some of the activities that we're offering for the adult. Louder? Okay. These are some of the activities that we're offering some of our adult population. So anywhere from creating crafts to the couple clubs Dr. York represent. We had a Passover singer for that category. Table tennis actually taking place in this building, adult chair fitness, yoga, and meditation. So a lot of opportunities for you to get involved, and we're looking to add some additional options in the coming year. The Just for Kids program is our after-school program, and in 2021 we had close to 80 kids registered to the program. The bus company said, sorry, we can no longer provide transportation. And that was the end of the program, all right? So for 2 years, we didn't have the program right over here. We brought it back. We were able to secure a busing contract, and now we have close to 50 kids who are registered for the program. Again, when I'm talking about the future of the JCC, bringing young kids, bringing teenagers into the building, that's such an important aspect of everything that we do. Our Early Childhood Center is thriving, okay? We renovated all 16 classrooms, so the classrooms are brand new, including new floors, new toilets, new kitchens, new painting. All the furniture there is new. Believe it or not, with a great support from the state of New Jersey. So the taxes actually made a good use in this case. And we started the year with 192 students. So the days of the JCC early childhood will be at 200 students. not too far away, and we're very, very excited about that opportunity. We have a new director at that facility. She's actually absolutely incredible. Someone asked me the other day, what's the reason for the growth? Is it the renovation? And I said, absolutely not. All right, the renovation helped, but it's the people. It's the people who are working in that center that making a difference day in and day out. And we're now adding more Jewish curriculum. And I don't know if you are ever in the building on a Friday morning around 9:30. I welcome each and one of you to come and celebrate Shabbat with our kids in the morning. It's probably the most meaningful and the most uplifting experience that you have in quite some time. By all means, at every Friday, come, and I'm pretty sure that you're not going to be disappointed.
Where is it in the building?
At the social hall.
The social hall.
In the social hall.
And what time?
9:30. Okay, so share with you some data, but let's talk about really what's the most exciting thing. We just hired a new adult enrichment director, a lady by the name of Marcy Feldman-Rost, R-O-S-T. Marcy is coming with tremendous amount of experience. She was actually a vice president of Blue Cross Blue Shield, bringing a significant amount of experience in programming, strategic vision, and together we're going to launch the adult university. So I'm pretty sure that when you saw my presentation, this guy is talking about kids, teens, that's all he cares about. No, all right? That's the future, but we need to take care of the present. So few things happened during the pandemic. Some of them are actually pretty sad. Some of them, it is what it is. But four main things happened. Some of the people, unfortunately, did not survive the pandemic and are no longer with us. Some of them moved to Florida full-time, Arizona full-time, and are no longer with the community. There's still a very good portion of people who are afraid of socialization and just staying where they are. And the rest of the people are either moved to a community such as Lionsgate or some of those communities that will gives you all of those amenities that there's really no need to come into the JCC. So there are two things that we can do. The first one, to accept the status quo the way it is, like, okay, they're no longer here and thank you. Or what we're going to do, and that's our responsibility, is to recruit the next group of adults that will fit into everything that we're doing here in the JCC, including the South Jersey Men's Club, the Couples Club, and some of those activities that we're doing. Okay. Now, if you're taking a look at some of the adults right now, a lot of them continue to work probably past the age of 65, 70. All right? So there's no way that they're going to come to the lifelong learning classes that we're offering at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's just not going to happen. So how are we going to bring them? Right? So the same curriculum that we're going to offer in the morning, now we're going to start offering at night. Right? So classes will be here at 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, of very, very interesting topics, such as my kid is going to high school, how to teach math to high school students. All right? And what it used to be in the past is completely different. So we are looking to recruit the next generation of older adults to come back into the JCC. So we're going to do it by incorporating a few things. Certification level courses, higher education level courses. So we're actually going to collaborate with Penn, Temple, Rowan, some of the local colleges and universities, and some of the professors will come and teach certification and content here at the JCC. Outdoor education, maybe some of those classes will actually take place at the JCC camps at Medford. Hobby, opportunities to travel together locally as well as internationally, right? Having a group coming from the JCC to travel together. So those are some of the activities that we're looking at. We are entertaining the concept right now of renovating our fitness and wellness floor, all right? We received a lot of demand from our members that they would like to have some turf, they would like to have different machines, and they would like to have an opportunity for designated space for personal training. So you're probably going to see some changes coming within the fitness and wellness floor. These are just some of the concepts that we have in mind. So, I'm sure that many of you might like to hear about this one, but this one been confusing for quite some time. The locker rooms, the spa, you know, there's nothing spa about the current condition of the locker rooms that we have in the facility right now. For many, many years, they fell into a significant state of disrepair. So we are actually entertaining we actually hired an architect firm to come here and give us some options, right? So we can all agree that the current locations of that spa is not where it needs to be. So when you think about it for a moment, I'm going to take a look at my good friend here, Phil. He comes in the morning, he needs to go upstairs, change into a swimsuit, then go half a mile down the hallway, go down the stairs into the pool, and then after he's done, right, he's coming down with a wetsuit, going up the stairs, half a mile down into the locker room, and then down the stairs. I think we can all agree that this is not the ideal location to have locker rooms. So we're investigating the opportunity and the possibility to bring them down to where the fitness and wellness offices are right now. Close to the pool, close to the gym, and really look at the whole structure of what the first floor might going to look like. And then utilize the space here, it's actually right behind us, to see if we can use that for more programmatic space. So for more yoga classes, for more Zumba classes, for more adult enrichment classes, you know, so there's a significant amount of space over there. So that will be here next week. We're inviting members to actually share their opinion about what we're trying to do, but for once and for all, we're going to make a decision. Are we going to move the spas downstairs, or are we going to keep them where they are? And if we keep them where they are, we're going to renovate them so to actually become a spa, all right? Something that people will feel good to go into. Right now, it's not in a good condition, to say the very, very least. The second thing that firm is going to help us with, and I'm going to pick up on Phil again, is we have some capacity issues in our indoor pool, right? With the significant addition of the virtual members who joined, we had to offer more classes, we had to more, with the growth of the swim team, there's really not enough time, there's really not enough space for members to do individual lap swimming. We have an outdoor pool that is only being used 10 to 12 weeks out of the year. So we are looking into putting a retractable roof over the outdoor pool, expanding the outdoor pool deck so it will become more of a family environment, and really making sure that we have 2 pools available for our members throughout the entire year. The reason for the retractable roof, we still want to make sure that we have the summer swim club over the summer, you know, and you can still enjoy the sun, and it's just like not another indoor pool. Big project. We hope that we can lift it up, but that's the trajectory that we are taking right now. We are collaborating with the Saltzman Foundation once again to bring productions and classes into the JCC. If you have any interest in participating in a show, or if you have any interest in helping with sets of creating or something like that, that would be really, really exciting. The festival, I know that many of you have attended the festival in the past. We extended the festival. Right now we're offering more than 44 unique events that will take place during that time. The RSVP is out. You're probably going to get the brochures in the mail within the next few days. So I encourage each and one of you to come and participate in the festival. Fall Festival, a great opportunity to bring your grandkids into the JCC camps at Medford with a lot of different options, you know, from hair rides to face painting, bouncy castles. One more time to enjoy the camp before we completely close for the season. Hanukkah dance, and that's pretty much it. The last thing that is not on the board right now, we just made a commitment to bring the JCC Mid-Atlantic Games back into Cherry Hill. If you remember, in 2014, we had the big JCC Maccabi. This is something a little bit smaller, but that will require a lot of volunteer opportunities in order for us to be able to lift that project up. So probably Cherry Hill East, Voorhees, you know, some of those sport fields, but here in our center.
Next summer?
What's that?
Next summer?
2025, so the following one. Yeah, the next summer we're going to go to, we're going to travel to Delaware and in 2025, it's going to come over here.
I noticed you had the camps were overbooked already. You're already, it's like 49 over. Does the local area get priority? Because I see you draw from Philadelphia down the shore. Do all the local people get first crack before you take from the other areas?
So it's a double-edged.
Like you had a waiting list.
Absolutely.
I had a waiting list. Are you going to take all the local supply first before you open it up to outside people? Or are they out just after the money?
It's actually not about the money. It's not about the money at all, believe it or not. So the first we're going with Jewish, right? So Jewish is the first one. We really want to make sure that we bring as many Jewish people and provide them with a meaningful Jewish camp experience. So Jewish is the first one. We want to make sure that the Jewish families from this area and the greater Philadelphia area is getting the first opportunity.
First from here?
First from here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to stay with that topic for a moment, please. If a child, if you had a child, a grandchild in camp, the camp was over that day, or very soon after that, they knew to register for next year.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? One of my grandchildren was not in at the camp, and they've been closed out already. Because the word did not get out that you better register immediately. So there's got to be a way to let the community know in a much better way than it is now that you better register at the end of August or you're not going to see next June.
I agree.
But Michael, I think what he's saying that the local Cherry Hill people and Voorhees people, we're going to get first crack.
I'm telling you that it's not the way it is.
So you got to complain to them then.
It is the way it is right now. It is the way it is right now. Because I see the numbers. I know exactly where they're coming from, and I know exactly who's getting in and who's not getting out.
The word is not getting out.
So he'll get your kids in.
Well, the word is always. I hear it. The word got out because we are sold out. So there's no question about that.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Have you considered the possibility of having either a concert band or orchestra composed of people in the Jewish community here?
Hold on 1 second.
As a new type of activity.
Oded, if you could repeat.
I will repeat the question. Yeah.
So did I make myself clear?
Yes,
When I'm proposing that yeah. Because I think the question is, are there people who played an instrument somewhere in their life who are interested in participating in a band or an orchestra that is local and is Jewish in its orientation rather than Christian like the community bands are around here?
Thank you. So the question is are there any thoughts of creating an opportunity for people who played some sort of an instrument during their life to come and practice together or putting together an orchestra or a band here at the JCC? I think it's a great idea. Not one that I thought about, but I'm definitely going to share it with Marcy. She's our new director. I'll be more than happy to entertain something like this. Yeah.
I'm sure one of your major expenses is electricity. Is there anything any thought to look into solar paneling either in the parking lot or any part of the building?
Great question. So the question is expenses as far as it comes to electricity, and should we or shouldn't we consider solar panels on the parking lot and whatnot. So we probably made, I don't know the number, but we made a significant investment. And if you go behind our building, we actually converted gas into electricity. So we have a cogen unit here at the building. The heat that unit is generating is going to work heating the pool. And the entire roof of the building is covered with solar panels. Right? So we made a significant decision of putting as much solar as we can. One of the things that is really, really important to remember, because we are a 501c3, not for profit, we're not allowed to sell electricity to the grid because of our status. So if we use it here for our benefits, great, awesome. We cannot sell it out. We cannot make any revenue as a result of that. So the current needs of the building are being satisfied between the cogen unit that convert gas into electricity and the solar panels that we have on the roof. Did I answer the question?
Excess electricity, what happens to it?
So which one?
What happens?
This bursts into the grid, but we're not getting any recognition for that. Yep.
Okay, what is the breakout of Jew versus non-Jews in the JCC, and are we moving in one direction versus another?
The question is, what is the ratio between Jewish and not Jewish in the JCC? I think we kind of maintained the status quo over the past few years. I'll say like we're around 65 to 70% Jewish versus non-Jewish. If you see, we had a community day at the J for Rosh Hashanah just a couple of Sundays ago. We have close to 1,300 people who visited the JCC for that. And you can actually, it was a good representation of what the population of the JCC. You saw Jewish, non-Jewish, people of color, people from Asia, people from all over the world who came and participated. And I think it's a good thing, right? When we are constantly fighting and combating anti-Semitism, we need those people on our side. People who understand the values and the morals of a Jewish community center. And God forbid there's a crisis, we need that group to stand by our side and tell the rest of the world, stop. So I'm actually very, very happy with the diversity that we see here in the building. And I think when I see the future and what the future holds, the more people who buy into our mission, to everything that we're doing over here, that should not stop all of the Jewish values that we hear. As a matter of fact, I'm adding more Jewish curriculum into the Early Childhood Center, regardless of the composite of the students. We should not compromise. We need those people on our side.
Yeah, when I was growing up, the only community center was a YMCA. And every time we went through a doorway, every time we went into a new room, we were reminded there was a Christian cross on the doorway, over the door, in the room. And it's a subtle reminder that it's a Christian facility. I don't see that reminder. When you're in the room, there's no reminder. There's no Logan David. There's nothing. So that the people who are occupying the room are subliminally reminded this is a Jewish facility provided to the community, like a Jewish community.
I think all the doors.
Is it true that Verizon or one of the other cell phone providers is
Yes.
finally put up a tower here so we can get better reception in the neighborhood?
Yes, it was approved on Thursday night. Yeah, it was approved on Thursday night. That doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. Probably going to take. The question was, is Verizon going to put a tower in our backyard? Yes, and that should resolve some of the significant challenges that we have on Crescent and Springdale right now. So it's not only to serve the JCC problem. Believe it or not, the best supporter of that initiative was the Cherry Hill Police Department. You know, they don't have coverage as well in that neck of the woods. So it's going to go in the new parking lot in the back. You know, it's not going to be close to anyone. But I suspect that within the next 9 to 10 months, Verizon will build that tower. And the money coming from that one is going towards Federation, you know, in our agencies, to cover all sorts of different projects within Federation.
Outside where the tennis courts are, they're in pretty bad shape. Is there any plan to revive them, make them better tennis courts, make a pickleball course, anything with that?
Yep. The question is about the tennis courts on the outside. Let me think how I'm going to answer that question. Carefully, obviously. So, for the last few weeks, we were entertaining an offer from an outside vendor to do a land lease on those tennis courts and convert them into an incredible pickleball facility, right? Covered, pavilion, restaurant, the whole 9 yards. That's why I'm saying I want to be very, very careful with what I'm saying, because it kind of went cold over the past few days because of a family emergency within that individual. So I don't know where it goes. In an event that this robust program is not going to come into fruition, we're just going to renovate them, right, to the point that people can go back and play there. There's a significant problem there, right? There's It's funny. I went to the township to take a look, how can we do that? The field is significantly higher than where the tennis courts are. So all the water, that's why all the water came on that and destroyed them pretty quick. So it involved a significant drainage plan, because if you look behind those tennis courts, that's where the wetlands are, all right? So it's a retaining wall, it's a drainage, and really bringing it up so we can actually put drainage underneath the field. Not a cheap project, but something that we will do. So there's definitely discussions of what that's going to look like.
How about the renovations to the social hall?
In what aspect?
You were talking about putting carpeting back down at one time and changing the audio system.
Yeah, still in discussion. Still in discussion. No definite answer there yet.
Right,
But definitely.
Discussion for a year now.
Yeah, we're definitely looking to put some absorbing, forgot the name of it, some materials that will go on the wall that will absorb the sound and some of those challenges that we have. Yeah. All right, I will take 3. That's awesome.
Okay, thank you. Sit down for we can get rid of Mike. I got rid of Mike.
All right, just a reminder, you're taking home the one with all the names on it where you circled your choices so you can remember what you've said you're going to do. And the second thing is, at the end of the meeting, which won't occur until after the 50-50, at least one person from each table, please bring the completed forms and put it on that table. Okay? Thank you.
Give us a certificate.
Yes, I got it.
Oh my God, you gotta stand up and take a picture.
Okay. We'll take a picture. Do they tell you to do everything all the time?
No, I know.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now, Oded.
Hey, we got one more thing. You got to you're drawing that.
Yeah.
But tell me he's a member now, remember?
What?
Speakers become members for a year.
Yes. Okay, we got $92 today. That's a record. Wow.
So, keep this coupon. Anyone has it?
Just a 3 digit.
339.
No.
Right here.
Congratulations.